Hi, my name's Ian Boddy. I'm running for re-election as mayor of the city of Owen Sound. I think I've got a couple of qualities that I bring to the table to help build Owen Sound. One is that I'm optimistic about our future, and I believe very strongly that I try and always have a positive attitude about everything, ignore the negative, and try and be positive and push things forward. So I think that's important. I've also got the experience of being on council for the last 8 years, as mayor for the last 4. We've poured a pretty strong foundation over the last 4 years. We've eliminated over $800,000 of costs at the city in our review of operations. We've got the OPP costing. We've moved forward with a report on fire, so we've laid pipes for opening up more land, so we'll have more development-ready lands to go. We've attracted some jobs, some industry to come to town, and we've got some local industry that's expanding. So I look forward to trying to build on that and move the city forward and build on what we've poured in the last 4 years. Building in the community. Well, let me see. I was the fundraising chair for Heart and Stroke for a couple of years. I coached minor lacrosse for 4 years. I was in the Georgian Bay Folk Society for 6 years on their board of directors. I was president there for 2 years, the 24th and 25th Summer Folk Festivals that were hugely successful. I was the chairman of the Sesquicentennial 2007 Homecoming. I've sat on operations committee for 2 years before I went onto council. Member of the Tom Thompson Art Gallery going back for 30 years. I was involved with one of the very first fundraisers about 20 years ago called Autumn Colors. There's probably others that I've done prior to being on council. Well, I think that question misses a little bit. Not only do we want to bring new people to the area, and especially young people, we also want to keep the people that grew up here and try and get them to stay. So a couple of different things. We've already started the Are You Most campaign to attract millennial entrepreneurs. I'm not going to try to say it together as one word. And we're about to start the second phase of that. We need to keep working with SWIFT to be able to get high fiber, high broadband into Owen Sound so that people that are making a living at the internet, on a modem can thrive. We're going to work with Grey County and with Georgian College to establish the Skills Training Center and an entrepreneurial center at Sydenham School. We've attracted some jobs, as I mentioned in the last question, to start to provide jobs for people. So the big thing is keep adding jobs, make sure we've got housing, and start to tell our story. We've got a lot of positive things going on in Owen Sound, a lot of really good attributes. We need to start to share those. The harbour is an interesting question. As we know, it's owned by Transport Canada, and we have very little, the city has very little property or anything that we own down there. So first of all, I do not recommend that the city take on the cost of cleaning up the harbour. It would cost hundreds of millions of dollars, and it's beyond our capacity financially for the city to do that, and especially when it's owned by Transport Canada. We'll continue to encourage the landowners around the harbour to develop their property. We have a community improvement plan which gives them incentives, actually loans, to help them and tax incentives to help them clean up their lands as they're developing them. I think that's important. I don't recommend dredging. Dredging, a lot of the toxins that are in the ground underneath the water are there and buried, but if we start trying to dredge, then it's going to stir it up, it's going to pollute Georgian Bay, and it's going to pollute our water intake system coming into the city, so I don't recommend that. We need to continue to do harbor nights and Harbor Fest and all those neat things to try and attract tourism and our local people down around the harbor and take advantage of its beauty going forward. The opioid crisis is very important in our community. It's also nationwide, province-wide. The whole country is having a problem. We're not suffering as badly as other cities, but it doesn't mean that we can overlook it. At AMO a couple of weeks ago, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, they have a conference. All the ministers were there. The new Minister of Health commented on it. They're looking at solutions and trying to come up with a program and funding that we will be able to tap into to take advantage of that. In the interim, our police services has the belief that the best thing we can do to combat it is to try and get the drugs off the street before they get sold and distributed. So they've been working very hard undercover, trying to collect as much information, and this summer they've had great success making arrests and stopping those drugs from hitting the street. We need to continue to support that. Great question, and the simple reason that committees are a great way to be involved with the city, to have feedback, to have real feedback. There's more committee members on from the public on those committees than there are councillors, so public has a strong input. Our problem is every fall, every December, we advertise and try and promote to get people onto the committees, and we have trouble getting people to sign up. We often extend the deadline and no one signs up again after that. So it's really important for people to get involved, to come out and join those committees. Adding committees isn't going to help when we have trouble getting people to sign up now. So I encourage everybody, especially if you're under 40, get involved. We want your input. We want you to join up in our committees. We'll add more people to the committees we've got if we get the opportunity. So please sign up, join us, look for the advertising, look for the city webpage in December and January, and we'll be ready to go with new committees on February 1st. Great opportunity to participate. Please have a look at it.